පිටරටක නම් අපි දන්නවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කෝච්චියක් කැඩුනත් ඒ ඇමතිවරු ඉල්ලා හසෙනවා. අපේ රටේ ලැජ්ජාවක් නැති ඇමතිවරු තවමත් ඉන්නවා.
අපි මේ කරන්නේ දරුවන්ගේ ජීවිතත් එක්ක. අර පතන වැරදි සිදුවන.
ඇමතිවරු එකක් කියනවා, නිලධාරීන් තව එකක් කියනවා. අපි තමයි අමාරු වෙන්නේ.
A very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on Channel 1 MTV. I am Ravi Gamake.
And I am Sonali Wanigabaduge.
What is the latest on the cyclonic storm Thien that has drastically altered the weather pattern in the region?
Well, we have Ramesh Irugal Bandara at our weather centre to tell us more.
Over the past few days, the residents of Colombo and its suburbs have been experiencing abnormally cold weather conditions. Now, officials said this could be attributed to Cyclone Thien, which is currently affecting the region. We will have a detailed look at these weather patterns later on in the bulletin. Stay with news first.
We start off with a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
A committee to investigate the issues pertaining to the GCE advanced level results on a directive of the President. The United National Party calls for Parliament to be convened to discuss the A-level issue. Department of Examination shuts the door on the News First team that called over to look into the students' issues. The body of a Minuangada Pradesh Sabha member who had died in a suspicious manner found in Kotadeniava.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the government will take steps to implement a program to provide relief to the families of Buddhist monks who are ordained in rural areas. The president made this statement when he met the chief prelate of the Mirisvatiya Vihara in Anuradhapura, Venerable Ithalavatnavave Jnana Tilaka Thera. The president also engaged in a tour of Anuradhapura today. The president paid homage to the Ruanvali Mahasaya and engaged in religious observances. Later, the president declared open a rice dansala which will be held for 12 months. The dansala has been organized by the S.M. Chandrasena Foundation.
The deputy leader of the United National Party parliamentarian Sajith Premadasa has urged party supporters to stand against conspirators within the party whose aim is to fulfill the requirements of the government. He made this request through a communique issued in response to newspaper reports that a disciplinary inquiry is to be carried out against UNP MP Dayasiri Jayasekara.
Sajith Premadasa has noted in his communique that one cannot help but wonder if this was an attempt to fulfill the requirements of the government by trying to destroy the political career of individuals such as Dayasiri Jayasekara who fight against the government. The communique went on to say that it is clear that a conspiracy is underway to politically destroy the few radical MPs who are there in the party. Sajith Premadasa recalled how it was reported earlier that a disciplinary inquiry will be conducted against MP Sujiva Sena Singha and the party membership of MP Buddhika Patrana was also cancelled. He pointed out that it is the belief of party supporters that Dayasiri Jayasekara is a parliamentarian with much potential who should be given a high position in the party. Meanwhile, UMP parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara has also issued a release in response to the newspaper reports which stated that a disciplinary inquiry will be conducted against him. Jayasekara questions as to what measures have been taken against those who conducted media briefings accusing Karu Jayasuriya following the announcement of his candidature for the party leadership, if action is being taken with regard to party discipline. He noted that he wishes to present information with evidence about individuals and incidents where disciplinary inquiries should have been carried out. In his communique, Dayasiri Jayasekara emphasized that the requirement of UMP supporters is to chase away the government which has failed to carry out any task in an organized manner and not to punish individuals like him who raise a voice against the government.
A second lieutenant has been killed and a lieutenant injured in a shooting carried out in the Chavakacheri area in Jaffna by an army soldier. Military spokesperson Brigadier Nihal Hapuarachi said that the soldier had escaped from the 18th Gamanuheva Brigade in Chavakacheri. He added that a second lieutenant and a lieutenant were deployed to capture him. The military spokesperson added that the injured lieutenant has been admitted to the Palali hospital. He also said that the soldier who carried out the shooting has been arrested. Up next is Crime Watch.
The body of United People's Freedom Alliance member of the Minuwangoda Pradeshya Sabha, Indika Dinesh Chandrasuri, was discovered last night. Police stated that information that had been unearthed during the initial investigations has raised suspicion over the death. Chandrasuri, who was a 28-year-old father of two, had left his house on his motorbike last morning. His body was found sometime later under the Ma Ussaya bridge in Kotadeniyawa.
When I came here, I saw a fallen bike and a crowd had gathered. When we found him, we took him to the hospital. He had injuries on his leg and head.
Police stated that even though it can be considered that death was caused by an accident, investigations have raised doubts as to the cause of death. He had gone to Minuwangoda for some schoolwork of his elder brother. After they got the work done, his brother had gone for some work in a society. Then he had said that he is going home but didn't return home. The body has been sent to the Kuliapitiya District Medical Officer for a post-mortem examination. Meanwhile, the body of a fishmonger named Rajendra Muralitharan, who was alleged to have been abducted last morning, has been discovered in close proximity to the Kalani River estuary in Totalanga. His relatives stated that Rajendran had left home in a trishaw in order to go to the Paliagoda fish market. He had, however, been abducted by a white van in the Mutuwal area. When he was going to work at the fish market from home, a white van had knocked his trishaw and taken him at 7:30 in the morning. We went to the police and everywhere, and then we got to know about this in the morning. When we made inquiries in this regard, the police stated that a complaint had been lodged regarding an abduction. Police stated that wounds were visible on the body, which was discovered this morning. Rajendra Muralitharan, who was 36 years old at the time of his demise, was a father of one. He has been residing in the Mutuwal area. Meanwhile, the bodies of two women who were killed in the Uduhorombua area in the Ridigama police division in Dodam Gaslanda have been discovered last night. The deceased have been identified as 58-year-old A.G. Nandawati and 59-year-old V.G. Emmeline, who are residents of the Uduhorombua area. Both women, who were close friends, had left home last morning. Since they had not returned home till night, the area residents had launched a search operation. During the search operation, their bodies had been discovered in a plot of land belonging to one of the women, which is located around 1 kilometer away from the house. Police stated that slash wounds were visible on both bodies.
A media briefing was held at the Government Information Department today with the participation of Deputy Minister of Economic Development Lakshman Yapabewardena. The minister expressed these views about the recent murder of a tourist in Tangol.
This is something which should not have taken place. No one in the government will protect those involved in the incident. The government has taken the highest measures possible in this regard. The British High Commissioner is already satisfied about the measures taken by the government in the past few days. We have already inquired whether his relatives will accept the body so that we could send it to Britain. If they will accept the body, we will send it. If not, the government will make arrangements to perform the final rites.
Former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca says that if children are to have a future, then there should be democracy in the country.
Another dictator in the world is gone. If people in this country are to regain respect and freedom, and if your children are to have a future, then democracy similar to what is practiced in the West must be established here. Sarath Fonseca was brought to a private hospital in Colombo today as well for medical treatment.
The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says it has been awarded $2.5 million as court costs on the hedging deal case filed by Citibank before an international arbitrator based in Singapore. This was stated in a media release issued by the CPC today.
The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation signed hedging agreements with a few banks in 2008 in order to purchase crude oil at a pre-agreed price irrespective of crude oil price fluctuations. However, despite the sudden decrease in crude oil prices in the world market, the CPC found itself obliged to pay the same high prices to the banks. Due to this reason, the corporation suspended the hedging agreements. Standard Chartered Bank, which was one of the banks involved in the agreement, filed a case in a London court. That court decided that Sipetco owed $162 million plus interest to the Standard Chartered Bank. Citibank, which was yet another bank which signed a hedging agreement, filed a case with a Singapore-based international arbitrator. The decision of the arbitrator was that the corporation is not responsible to pay the amount requested by the bank and the interest. Accordingly, the release states that $2.8 million, which is nearly 287 million rupees, is therefore due to be received by the corporation.